Hey loves, and welcome to Tell It All podcast. This is the second episode, and as you already know, we bring you conversations with the most prominent people across the country. I mean, you already see who my guest is today, but before we get into that, take a look at this gorgeous table out here. Shout out to Jägermeister for the sponsor. It is absolutely amazing. Look, this drink has been the one since 1878, you know what I'm saying? So if you want to have your party nicely done, perfect, get yourself a Jägermeister. Okay, now let's get into our guest. She is a phenomenal, inspiring young lady who I believe is very courageous, extremely brave, and not only that, but she is also, you know, a household name, just like our other guest. I mean, she has over 100,000 followers on Facebook. Not only that, she's also a presenter, extremely talented. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome my gorgeous, also stunning guest, Ts'epang Maboee. Hey, baby girl.
Hey, love.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
You're a mouthful. There's a lot going on about you. Hey. I mean, you okay?
Am
Is
I
everything okay?
Yes, I'm okay.
Fantastic.
I'm okay,
Listen, thank you so much for joining us here at Tell It All. Now, I want to ask you something. Are you ready to tell it all?
I am ready, absolutely.
You ready?
I wouldn't be.
No holding back.
I wouldn't be.
Hey, girl, you better bring it like that. Okay. Tell me. Actually, before we get into that, there's this question that I normally ask my guests. Like, I want to know what's the one thing that you bring whenever you go out? Like, it's just to break the ice.
I think one thing that I always have with me, it's mostly if I don't know if
Yeah.
it's definitely my meds. I always have my meds with me in my bag.
So that's what you travel with. Doesn't matter where you're going, for how many days, you always make sure that you have your medication
I
with
think
you.
that's it, yes.
Okay, there you have it. She always carries her medication. Girl, we about to get into the business. You remember you said you're going to tell it all, right? Right?
I am.
Okay. Look, there's something that I've realized, I think I've noticed when we were talking, that, you know, you are misunderstood. You understand? People don't exactly know who Ts'epang Maboee is. That happens to me also. A lot of people have their own idea of who April is.
Exactly.
So I want you to set the record straight for everybody out there. Who exactly is Ts'epang? Like when somebody says Ts'epang Maboee, like, who are you?
Okay.
What are you about?
Okay. Ts'epang Maboee is a 25-year-old lady.
Okay.
Yes. I'm a last born, Yabos Baba Bedi.
Yeah.
We grew up in a family in Alemelentate until my sisters, because Nanda
Okay.
So when and I don't, because I can't say I can need. And then my mother passed away 10 years. And then from there, the relatives, different. I can't really say because we shift between families or na ke maka hudisang at that time, ke maka khonang at that time, ke maka gaforang at that time. So that's how it was until 2012. That's when I discovered that I'm living with HIV.
At 2012, how old were you?
I was only 14.
Oh,
yes, I was 14 at that time. Yes.
Okay.
So, just to recap it, I'm an HIV activist.
Okay.
I'm a TV presenter. I am a brand ambassador. And I'm also a mental health and hygiene activist also.
Incredible.
So that's who I am.
Hey, I told you you're a mouthful. Like. Oh, okay. Hey. All right. No.
Yes, so that's who I am.
Okay. Now, at 14, you find out that you are HIV positive. Like, what was like your first reaction? Like, what happened? How did it feel to you?
How did I like get test so that
because at 14, like, you know,
we grow up. You and I and G was also know hore re holela metseng kapa society ntse re holang ge o ka dintho tse mpe tse buang about people living with HIV ke gola le wena o ka tshotse dintse o di tsebang but with me society ke holetseng ho yona ne re hola re tseba hore ngwana mmanye o tshwere ke AIDS so ke itse bana go bala le bana ba batho etsang
it's the stigma to it yeah
and stigma se etsang hore o qeteletse o iphile hore the only way for you to contact HIV is if you get sexual with someone who has HIV. So at that time I was so young, I didn't know anything into the sexual.
Of course.
So Nkonaka would always pursue me hore re tsamaye lo testa, and I honestly did not understand hore na why ke tlameya ho engolwa ha kana hore ke lo testa. Ka gola ke hlakisa hore ke hotse jolo ka ngwane molemo ke sa sukudisa haholo ka ho kula.
Yeah.
The only thing I remember ko hore ne ke tswa ditlapedi hlohong haholo, but ne ke nana ditlapedi excuse ya ka ene le ya hore re bapala ka mobu re le bana and mohlomong ke yona ntse hore ke tlapedi because I remember hore ba ke bala 4 ditlapedi ne di tletse bohlohong and I remember hore khona ka ona ntse ka Chris ibile ba ne hle di tletse hlohong di lengata haholo. So ke le ka qeteletse ga tsamaile re lo testa, and ho testing ha rona going back to that day ne re tsamaile le nkgono ka and my other cousins.
Okay.
So when we got there to the hospital, Mafeng hospital, I waited in the waiting room because motho le monna tlameha kene a gutla kena. So
the family is there.
Yes. So ntse ke hopola I was the last one and na tlameha ho lo sebeletswa.
Okay.
So now ha ke dutse ka waiting room ntse ke sheba hore okay ena o nkile 10 minutes 15 you know, and ke a bona hore ba gutla ba di smile ka family ba gutla thabile, and then it was my time to finally go in.
Yeah.
Ne ke sebeletswa ke abuti mo ntjana nantsa le motjha dilemo, and he did the pre-counseling ka nnete ka ba shapo, and I feel like motho mo le mong ha testa ha botsa hore na what would you do how fumana hore teng motho mo le mong ha ke tlana dipidisi. That's what we all say.
I feel like but because
like the
reality when it happens it's a bit different. It's like whoa, okay.
So that's what I also said. And just go on.
Oh, he asked you that.
Yes, he did.
Okay.
So I shall 2 lines, 1 line, blah 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 blah, and then I test. So yaba bear that testing tube on the table. Yaba abatswa. Ke hopola rona tswa ntse ya ke le mong, and then nakwa tsileng I picked through yaba ke fumana hore line dipedi, but ene nngwe ine sa hlaka ene le bit player, and I told myself yes a hlaka, and then I don't know like ke tlo iphanto tse siko mo. So he came back and he did confirm hore ehlile iteng, and it was very devastating because I was just in denial. Nane kutla mphanto ke sena yona ba line eno ngwa ya hlaka, why mphanto isiko. So my grandma was called in, and taba ya hore fela my grandma was called in highly na tester.
It caused something outside there for
exactly.
Sure. Yeah.
Hore tsapanya na ha tester why me abitswa ka hare. Na ga wa thile ba di ena me wa bitswa. Exactly. But la kore sentse ba fa hore na ho etsahala. So I came back to the waiting room and I couldn't face them because Linda in a sense it's a kick in horishly, this is it. Why me? Why na bana babanka I can tell where they are negative, and out of mutumule moni growth. I mean I know by that time my sisters were already sexually active. I am not. Then how did it happen?
Why me?
So no, everything was done with the file and everything is wrong for mutumule mapelang with HIV. So it was a lot.
Yeah.
Actually, it was really devastating. Hobani, I think that's where the stigma started. Hobani, now my cousins know pala. Also born hore. So I know why I'm not gonna why what was happening. So that's how it happened. That's how I discovered that I'm living with HIV.
That's a story and a half.
Yeah.
My thing is now your family sees that okay, the people you were with, they're starting to get suspicious. Like okay, why Ts'epang with the why would grandma have to be asked inside? They start talking behind your back, isn't it? I'm just assuming.
I think they did. Because it's but I think it's logical to say they did.
Did this also make you experience any form of discrimination
inside the family?
Inside the family, outside, anywhere really, like at work, wherever.
How did I get discriminated?
Yeah.
I should make this clear. I should outline this one. hangata as people living with HIV re dula re bua ka stigma that we get outside kapa se re se etswang ke motho e mong. But one thing e re iphapanyetsang yona ke self stigmatization. It's something e teng e bileng e re bolayang most of us emotionally, but we tend to turn a blind eye on ebe re batla ho focusa hore now motho enwa wa ho buswa.
You judge yourself first.
Exactly.
Basically.
So I think that's what happened with me also. With me, I started isolating myself from people. Boskolo. At that time, I was doing my Form A.
This must have been very. I cannot imagine what it was like. Honestly, like you're saying it, and I'm trying to picture it. It must have been Imagine school now. You have to
when I tested in 12, it was actually 12.
Crazy.
So Form A, so Form B. So if I isolated myself from everyone, I was less of a human. At that time, I think because going back, it's a routine, and all that, but next time I honestly did not see myself making it. And at that time, then my days are numbered. Because that's how we grew up knowing HIV. So yeah.
It's like a dead end, basically.
Exactly.
And then
sorry, but I wanted to add.
No, please go on.
So now I gave people a platform to come and stigmatize me because
you already did it yourself.
I already did it myself. How saitati we pana ole jang. How do you expect us to see you in a different way? So that's when I started to get discrimination outside from my classmates, from my cousins, inside the house and all that. So yeah, that's how it happened.
So you're dealing with all of this, you're still 14, 15. Like, how do you now accept your situation and say, okay,
this is what it is?
Yeah. Like, how long did it take you? Like, what did you do, really?
It's not something that just happens overnight. You don't just wake up and decide, oh, you know what, for me, took me 2012 until 2017 for me to say, I think now I have really accepted myself. Okay. And I wish people could also understand, it's a journey. You don't just wake up and say, you don't force yourself to do that. It comes naturally. Now I'm ready I think I'm ready to deal with this. Which brings me also to a point, how you're living with HIV. With me, a lot of people always ask, now, when is the right time to disclose to your family members? And disclosure, it's something that you should do.
Okay.
The reason why I'm saying this, of course, a different reasoning. When now it should be something you test.
Yeah.
For me, my reasoning responsibility. And at that time, how disclose? Your immediate family, your support. But in most cases, they don't. So what happens now? How we come here? That's when we have young people driving themselves to suicide, depression, and all that. So the reason why at that time, whether they accept you or not, you're okay.
Exactly.
This is what it is. I'm taking my meds and I'm okay. I know that there's nothing wrong with me. So that's why people should really disclose how I'm ready to face this and I'm ready for whatever outcome.
Speaking of, getting ready to disclose, telling people now close to you that, okay, now I have ready, this, Tell me, like, when you did it, you went public about it. That is a big move. That's like mind-blowing. Tell me, like, what was it? Like, was it a thing of you, say, maybe how you're coping mechanism, or was it a social thing? Maybe, girl, you know what I'm saying? You never know. Maybe they might throw a few bags on you because, you went public about it. Or was it like a social thing or just a personal choice? Like,
but then I because there are some people who say, I think who think me going public for me to talk about my
That's why I was like, okay, was it also? So
which is not true. As a HIV now you're making me money.
Yeah.
So public. The first time I went public, it was on Facebook and Nikki London, the UK.
You would say you were where, girl?
So this is how it happened. I was one of the delegations. Then let look up and Prince.
No.
Why can I
Did you forget the prince?
Prince Harry.
Prince Harry.
Prince Harry and some Benelokopana was Prophet Peter Piot Lebabang. So ha ke tloa hae mo ne ke tlile ke ngoletse script sa hore ha o fihla mono ha o bui e le wena who's living with HIV o bua only a delegate like wena o buela batho like o wa tseba di challenges tse batjha ba Lesotho ba kopanang le tsona.
For sure.
So you don't necessarily have to say I am also living with HIV, and I believe the reason why I wasn't ready to speak out. But I really need to speak out. But no, you can't do that.
So fat.
So when I got to London, I met this amazing lady. She's actually my friend. At that time, publicly about her status. So it kind of excited me.
Wait, hold on. Sorry, excuse me. Let me just ask you. Okay. Are you saying you were invited to London?
Yes, I was.
Before? Was it before you
I
went
could
public?
disclose.
Oh,
yes,
is it?
yes.
Interesting.
So that's why I can speeches and presentation had nothing to do with my status. With HIV, not saying Lin but actually
all right.
So when I got to London, it kind of motivated me who was speaking publicly, and at that time it was 2 years if not a year or so. So I called back home and I think I'm ready to speak out. And they were against it.
I love it.
You're not ready.
Hey,
and then we went to the round table that we had to go to. Now, when I got there was what's the biggest broadcasting platform?
Girl, you better ask me some, right?
BCC. Is it
BBC?
BBC, you think? Why was it? So it was broadcasting.
Yeah.
So that's when I spoke Korea. I'm also living with HIV. I think that was the first. And then I made a public post, a Facebook post, because London. So that's when I made a post I'm actually living with HIV and I'm here because this is what's happening.
Wow.
So that was my first.
And how did it feel after you just went public? Did you felt some maybe weight off your shoulders?
I did. Like that? I did actually. Hang had to disclose.
That's
amazing. I didn't know what awaited me. Yes, but at the same time, I wasn't ready for the social media backlash. I wasn't ready for that at all.
Crazy.
To me, I'm just living with HIV and carry on with what I actually want to do. But the response would be the way it was.
And you came back home and it was wilding.
It wasn't at that time, actually.
Okay. Now, before we get into the Facebook and all of that social media stuff, because I do have questions on that.
Okay.
What is that one thing that you feel like even today people still get wrong about HIV, and you want to just clear it out? What is that thing that you feel like even today still people still get it wrong?
Okay, so testimony with HIV you can't. And I feel like by just and you conclude with HIV exactly. And I'm going raw because clean school and all that. And you can't even tell if I'm living with HIV, then you're not going to tell. So I think that's what people are getting wrong. HIV you can't. We don't have dark spots.
Yeah.
Nothing. We don't have anything. As
long as you're taking your medication also, you're fine. You just reminded me of something when you say that people are not just scared anymore.
Yeah.
There's this show that used to play on TV that was like, you know, storylines that thing was HIV and AIDS.
Khan.
Hannah, about school kids and stuff like that. Do you remember that one? But somebody posted on Facebook on some. Because the way everybody's just not afraid of HIV anymore. It needs to get back. Okay, Ts'epang, now we're getting into the juicy part. Okay. Yes, for sure. We need some we need some Jaeger up in here because you know it's about to get hot. What about what go and like the what's interesting Jenuine?
Oh, did go this like yours?
Yes. Like also I just want to say this was very informative what you just did with us right now, and I appreciate that very much. Now let's keep the energy and tell it all. All right. Now, you know, I mean, man, you've had like how do I put this? Like your relationships.
Okay.
They have been with people who are very, you know, notorious. You understand? Like some drama in there. So now it makes me wonder, like, what is your type of guy? Like, what attracts you to a man? Girl. Huh?
Thinking about it, I honestly don't think I have a type.
Okay.
I don't know if can thing.
Yeah.
But for me, I feel like I don't have a type. If I would look back on people I've dated and looking at my current partner, like
Oh, so you're seeing somebody right now?
of course, yo.
Wow, cheers
How
to
about some games?
It's some glowing, it's a love glow. Okay.
So, like I was saying, with me, I can we click.
That's that. As long as there's chemistry.
As long as chemistry.
Yeah.
Weaknesses I has a relationship, and I think that's just me.
That's pretty cool. I mean, do you love shalt? Do you love
Who
money?
doesn't love money?
Okay, good. Now that you said that, tell me this. Like a lot of people were, you know, saying, this is not me, this is not tell it all, it's the streets, okay? The streets were saying that Ts'epang Maboee, you know, the men with money.
Hey, yo.
And you dated Turu for his money. How true is that?
So you don't tell it.
Eh, why
next time? Why next time?
It's a lot.
Honestly, I didn't know him. And I feel like he's a forex trader and all that, and I honestly didn't know him. I met him through a mutual friend because she would always put me up on her status, you know.
Yeah.
Until we met, and I didn't know him at all. It brings me back to your question, because I wanted money. I wouldn't like just because, and I feel with Turu, there wasn't much chemistry. You could say I'm the type of guy, but there wasn't much chemistry. I think with him, it's just that at that time I wasn't in a relationship, so it was only convenient because and it's
just like, let me give it a try.
Yeah, you know? I think that's when I said, let me just give it a try. I'm single, so it wouldn't hurt. Let me just try it.
So it wasn't for his mind.
It wasn't.
Okay.
It wasn't.
We have that part.
I think if it was, because, yeah.
Because in Tony?
Hey,
okay, now I get you.
Yeah.
Now this money thing does not end here. You understand?
Oh, is it?
I
told you,
look, man, this money story doesn't end here.
Okay.
So there is Mizo as well.
Okay.
You were. I think during the time that he was alleged, you know, there was rumors that there was a scandal, a money scandal for about 500 maluti. Yeah, like were you guys together at that time? Did you know about the money? Like, what was the story there?
Looking at the time frame, I was definitely with him at that time. But I can't say I know anything because how the relationship in the and I couldn't question his wallet or why una chelting at a photo or anything like that. So I didn't know anything about it, though it's more.
So with that now, 500,000 maluti is a lot of money. You understand?
Is.
Did you? But you saw it. Did you see it?
No, I'm just surprised because
Really?
I never. When I was with Mizo, I think I should make it clear.
No, sir. When it is ninding, something.
Okay.
Really?
Like one room. There was nothing fancy about our life. It was just the engagement wasn't that expensive. It was just a normal life. So can't anything that was suspicious.
Man, what, like you guys went as far as getting engaged, but that means you were till death do us part.
Yeah.
What then? What happened?
Why we didn't work out? We weren't just meant for each other, but that led to us breaking up was, I think in that relationship I had enjoyed the abuse for nakwetelele haholo. To a point where people
by abuse, like physical, emotional.
I think both physical and emotional.
That is terrible.
Though I did my part in the relationship. I think for him emotional wise, because I couldn't, I think I also did a number on him emotionally. So I think what I can only say is that we were just toxic for each other. It wouldn't work out, it wouldn't.
But it's a good thing, that you were able to find this out before you tied the knot, because then it was going to be like, how do you get out of that?
I think it is, yeah. And I actually agreed to the proposal about the engagement. And I feel like women, we stay in relationships hoping that it don't change, because when he proposed, it was like, okay, now I think we're taking.
So you ignored the red flags. Basically.
I did.
You're
give me track. I did, and I feel like it's along with most of not just women but gents also back the abusive relationships. But things will eventually get better.
So. Like the first time he laid hands on you.
The first time, and I thought it would get better.
He apologized. And said it's not going to happen again. The usual. So that, people also out there understand.
And
when these things happen
what happens.
It's a warning.
I think it's something who has been in an abusive relationship. Give you money, pamper you, so that it would make up for what he has done. So, you laughed and you forget about that
everything
until it happens again.
Crazy.
He repeats the same routine. So, yeah.
And now, you guys broke up, I guess. It was a public thing, like it was a big hoo-ha on the internet. People were talking about it, and it's not just him. Even with two who also, you are out there. I mean, that's a lot, of having publicly failed relationships. How did you deal with the backlash? Like, obviously people were hating on something. This, that.
What's when it comes out, of course I know that I'm not perfect and but and then it starts, I think it's not just about or anything. I should say with everything involved on social media trend or anything, that's when you'll start to know things you don't even know about yourself.
I'm telling you.
And you're here thinking, like Ts'epang Maboee, I did this. So I'm not going to lie, it affects emotionally, For me personally, I think it has changed my character, my personality.
I totally get what you're saying. Like when people start saying these things about you, talking about you like that, they don't understand that it has some sort of effect on you as a person, your character. It kills something inside of you. So I can imagine.
For me, it killed not confidence. Confidence, you're never.
Okay, that's right.
I think what it killed, but hakele in a public space. I'm not saying anything. I'm not participating in your conversation. That is because whatever that I'm going to say, because I say a lot of things I mean something. So I think that's how it has affected me. Now I'm a bit reserved than I was. Now I'm outspoken. I talk. I say what I want to say. But I'm a bit reserved because whatever that I'm going to say, they might use it against me. So I might just as well keep my thoughts to myself.
I know exactly what you're saying. I'm also going to tell you a young story about myself also. You know, like also at some point in my life, I also had people say a lot of crazy things about me on the internet, and I think that it kind of did something to me. You know what I'm saying? I still feel like I know I'm not supposed to be blaming people for maybe how I started behaving after that, but really it does. So I think people should just really be careful with what they say about the next person. You don't know what we're dealing with. You don't know nothing. So
and we are different. Mochemo cannot be as strong as you and I may be. We have a lot of young people because of on social media about them. I can't handle this and I can't at all. So
this is probably why also you are deciding to be, just to keep your relationship. Your romantic relationship to yourself now.
But I
it's nice that you're deciding to finally lay low. It's your choice. You have every right.
Peaceful. It is peaceful. I think 2022, 2023 until now, I've been at peace when it comes to the social. Not that how the attack on social media. The thing I did at Gasefeli, the camera podcasting cannot about thing. That's why I can't Gasefeli. But I think in terms of you should know now what's your coping mechanism. With me, keeping quiet really works for me.
Yeah.
I don't entertain anything. Not that I but I just keep quiet and go on with my business like nothing happened. So that really works for me.
Way to go, sister girl. That's the shout out to you for that.
Thank you.
Now let's get into another thing about you that, you being a presenter.
Okay.
Look, man, I don't want to lie. Take Me to My Crush was an extraordinary show, something that was fresh out of this country, like bringing people together with love. I'm trying to wonder, like, what could have inspired the show? Because me, I used to be glued to my screens, because it was a beautiful thing, man. Like, if you have a crush on somebody, you go to Take Me to My Crush, and they take you to your crush, and it's a happily ever after. What inspired that?
I think Lesotho and we're all trying to make something unique and exciting. Secondly, I think Take Me to My Crush negativity the viewer from our show. It's a positive show. It gives out positive vibes.
100%.
So that's
love.
That's just what we wanted. So I think what inspired us in Leon Antonio, we should just find something positive to say about Mujolo, sitting on a date with your crush and telling them how they feel about the blush affair, like something, So that's how
it's
we
really
got
nice,
inspired,
yeah? Unless the person decides to be like, yo, I. I like that.
Yeah.
if say now I was like on the crew, Take Me to My Crush, maybe we're deciding to be nice to you and take you to your crush. Do you have anybody in mind?
I think I do. I think I do.
Is it?
Hey.
You want to tell me who it is? Tell me who it is, girl. Tell me the juice.
I think it's my man, honestly.
Oh, that is so sweet.
I think it's him.
I saw that coming. Oh, that is so beautiful. I think it's him.
Since 2022, my eyes have been only on him. And
since 2022?
Yeah.
Wow.
Only on him.
Hey.
I crash and over.
Every day, all day. All over. All right, now look, that's awesome. Now we're gonna, relax a bit, take a break, and we'll be right back. Tell It All podcast with Ts'epang Maboee. This is where it's at. She is telling it all, from the drama to the HIV activist. We'll be right back after this because you know what? We need to pay some bills. You know what I'm saying? We need to do some song with the Jägermeister. We'll be right back. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It's still Tell It All podcast with the gorgeous, stunning Ts'epang Maboee. We had to do the right thing by Jägermeister, okay? Because it's doing Tell It All right. So we had to do right by it as well. And they're not the only ones actually that got us covered today. We have also the gorgeous Kitty with the beautiful slippers. Look at these. They're so cute and I love fur. What girl doesn't love fur? Get yourself these from Kitty, you know what I'm saying? Now, Ts'epang, we're getting back into this business, dear. Me and you. We have a few more things to go, into, and we're almost done. So we're all right.
Okay.
Now we were still on Take Me to My Crush.
Yes.
It was a great concept, like I said before we went on the ad break with, our Jaeger. Come on, tell me, why did you guys decide to end the show?
We didn't end it. Haya fela. I think the challenge is haholo, and that's when production stopped in 2022. The last episode that we aired was in November, if not October, 2022.
Okay.
So let me just give you hanyane. Just hanyane fela. When I was still with Mizo, a registered entertainment company. That was also Take Me to My Crush.
Yeah.
So when we decided to I'm fooling him sole ownership on the company. Even he gives me full authority over Take Me to My Crush. So yaba hutwamuno Take Me to My Crush is selling nna kilemo.
Yeah.
So I met up with this Ntate, I'm not going to say his name.
Okay.
He's someone, I think, he has money. And
what
made me...
You and money, girl. Okay, go on.
So, in terms of Pansenle, Unaton Fanda. I don't want to say sponsor, but Unaton Fanda.
Okay.
We'll take me to my cash production in Israel. We had a contract, though I won't go into details when
yeah, for sure.
So we had a contract and Hanyani fell on our contract, a certain percentage of shares with a certain percentage of money.
Yeah.
It didn't happen until then that's when I decided to but only a say in the reality shows. Take Me to My Crush in a appreciated. It's another reality show. So he has a say in the reality shows. What
was giving him the right to feel like he has a say in the show? Like, you guys were romantically involved, or was just I'm just asking, like, why would he feel like we were
not.
Okay.
We were not. He's a family man, and also in this whole thing. So we're not.
But he was just trying to take control of what's yours.
Yes, that's what he was doing. So unfortunately, he had already taken over the media platforms that Take Me to My Crush with our Facebook page. And it's nearly over 55k followers. Woo. And our YouTube channel is nearly over 5k subscribers.
Numbers.
So that's what happened. But rest assured, Take Me to My Crush will appreciate it in the deleting. In fact, we will be reshooting in a week or two from now.
Oh, now that needs to tell. Cheers to that, baby girl. Yes.
And the fact that the media platform isn't going to stop us, and we'll definitely push.
I like that. It makes me happy that you're getting back into it because it was an awesome show.
Yeah.
It was awesome. I'll say it again. It was awesome.
Okay, thank you.
Now I'm wondering, this thing is great, and it could be broadcasted on our national TV. Did you guys maybe approach LNBS? Maybe, and what happened?
We did approach LNBS in 2021. And who approach LNBS I think a lot of people know it. So our concern was that concept though other people might debate or Take Me to My Crush. So concern why Hokabali show Israel after Hokobeli Take Me to My Crush. So we had a meeting.
It kind of raised suspicion.
Exactly. So we had a meeting le LNBS. We talked, and who went how we should write down a proposal. Ya hore re tlo tla re sebetsa le bona our episodes with them. Also, re tlo sebetsa hore na ena Take Me to My Crush le pelo ja se rati re sebetsa jwang, there should be only one. So taba ko hore na are we working with them on pelo ja se rati kapa focus a fela ho Take Me to My Crush. Ha sa le meeting wa rona o fela mo because ntse ke hopola hore re la ba ra kopana le the Minister of Communications wa kana kweng. So ya ba sa le fela mono. While we were working on our proposal, ke hlalose hore proposal ne re tlameha hore re etse re le registered company. That's when we registered company ne ke le ka bua ka yona.
Shout out.
So while we were working on registering the company, ke re tla bona pele ja srati sentse So that's how it happened.
Yes, man, it did raise suspicion on your side, like, where they get the concert, something like that. Yeah. Okay. Now, I want us to play a young game. I think.
Okay.
I think we're done with the serious stuff.
Okay.
A young little truth or dare with the Jägermeister.
Okay.
Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna play a truth or dare.
Yeah.
I mean, you know already truth or dare, right? I'm gonna ask you a question, truth or dare, and then if you pick dare. You
truth.
do the dare, Ts'epang. No holding back. If it's
Okay.
truth, you tell me
The truth. Okay.
right?
Okay.
Great. So, truth or dare? I'll drink with you for moral support. I'll take a shot with you for moral support. I feel like you're going to be doing it on your own. Okay, go on.
Damn, we're gonna into the title hole. So go for truth.
Truth.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Okay.
So, truth, ne? Truth and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
Were you ever involved in a romantic something with, like our other guest?
Nka kgona ho fetsa ke khutlele
So
day.
no. There's no way, girl.
We said, did I ever what?
Were you ever,
Romantically involved with him? No, I wasn't.
Okay.
I think, but ba following who can remember the whole breakup thingy. He was there for the support. I think without him, I wouldn't have left that relationship because he was one of the people, also including my sisters.
Yeah.
He was one of the people I should eventually get out of that toxic relationship.
Speaking of getting out of that toxic relationship, I actually remembered something that I want you to tell me about. Like, I want you to give me an experience. Like, give me experience that you still remember of, the violence that you went through. Like, okay, for sure. Let's go for it now, man. Let's go for it. Okay. There we go. I hope I don't put too much. Okay. Let's go this way also. Am I taking one for moral support now?
Yes, you are. You promised. You promised.
Okay. Hold it right there.
Okay.
Hold it. Okay. All right. Let's go.
In 3, 2, 1.
Let's go. Okay. The Jaeger is delicious. Now, give me the story.
One incident that I remember, and I haven't talked about it. It's not because a lot of people know hore I'm involved in abuse.
Okay.
And it's a different one.
Okay.
But I'm not going to say a name.
Okay.
Though people know, but why already fella that I've dated, so do the math. I still remember hore. I was on the set. We were shooting an episode, Taking Me to My Crush.
Yeah.
So usually we would talk throughout the day. Like setting, I know like setting ki busy. I hardly touch my phone, but communication here and there, updating here and there. How is your day going and all that. So mutuaka, that's not at all. I would even happy phone rather with a text. So it's give suspicious or so ka be ke chaisa ka ya mo ke dulang mantsiba ba still ho ntse sena communication. I decided that, you know what, Hey,
that's your man's place.
That's my man's place.
Of course, yeah.
I feel like I got in, I relaxed, I cannot go no, my man can half.
Spice.
So, yaba ke agaleya. Ka ba mathofu ke ukwa hore le mati la bulela ho kena batho ba babedi.
Heban.
I'm only expecting my then man. Ba kena ba le babedi and ke ukwa hore there's a lady voice. Okay, what's happening?
Hebo.
Batla.
You're in the bed.
I'm in the
like
bed.
So.
I'm in the bed. Sexually
All sexy. Yo.
So batla. The lady in the lena ka pele. So mnyakwa bethu mo sa kwalwa. Na kwa re nyebe wa mpona ke dutse bethe and she was struck. Ya ba o fetela bathroom ka pele. And then my man sa batla. Ha tla le ena o fumana ke dutse mona and he was shocked too. What are you doing here? You're my man. What am I doing here?
What do you mean?
So he wasn't happy to see me. And then the lady abakutla ka bathroom. In fact, before I got to the bathroom, even my then boyfriend was inside where he knows what I've been doing.
Heban.
And I came back here. So
but now he's accusing you of things.
What do you mean you know what I've been? I think I should make it clear in that relationship I was so transparent. Phone he knows what would go through my phone. If my ex contacted me, Nikki movies so and so contacted me. That's how I was open.
Hey.
So he knows what I was doing. I've been fully committed to him. The lady comes back from the bathroom. I don't want to say this word. I don't want to say this.
I can imagine.
This word,
yeah.
So I'm here like, what? Like, where's
Alan? Peter, you calling me names?
You can't call me that. And he's not defending me or anything.
My goodness.
I got out of bed. I got dressed. The lady in Zazola is going about on.
Calling you names,
yeah,
just trashing you basically, and the man is just standing right there.
I lost it.
Hey,
I lost it. The lady, and I gave him a slap. Because I was so angry. You're not giving me full details of
like, who are you even?
Hey, and my man is just standing there. He's not doing anything. So I slapped the lady. He beat me up badly.
No.
He beat me up in front of the lady.
Wait, he beat you up because
I slapped
yeah.
the lady. A sweater. It was bloody because of the blood that was coming out of the nose. I was bruised on the eye. And I got killed.
Was that bad?
In that relationship, in the incident, to lay a hand on me. It was the first incident. So I got curled up fast and still like he kept on kicking me. The lady I mean fela shebelet. I ba ka mora mono ba be ba tsamaya. I ba ke letsa khebo re tlo nlata. While I was still
they
there.
You're in the house.
They got
in
the car.
You're in that
left.
terrible condition. You're bleeding.
Ba be ba tsamaya. So ke letsa za khebo ke le ka letsa bo swa ka this is what's happening, you know. Hansi ke metsi khebo ke khola after about 10 minutes ba khutla. The lady o khutla le bo hale hampe ha tswa lo ema ka ntle. So I would tshwantse go ga tshika ne go bozo ka tlunya ka lo ema ka ntle. It was in July.
No, July is cold.
It's
also
cold.
What? And it's in the early AMs. It's freezing.
So that's how it happened.
Crazy.
And I also had that they didn't even last for more than 2 months. But that's one incident.
Man, that's insane. You clearly went through so much also.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if these were this is one of the things that drove you to I mean, I heard from a very credible source that at some point you were admitted into Muhlomi Hospital. I don't know if it was maybe a case of depression or something mental, because I mean it's a lot that you had to deal with.
Yeah.
So what's that about?
Muhlomi, it was while I was still with me. So that night, it was the last night that he laid his hands on me. What was the fight about?
Yeah.
But that night it was extreme to a point where he said he had to scratched. It was a lot. So I ran out of the house. I can't see without my glasses on. Well, I can't see, but it's a bit blurry.
Yeah.
So I ran out of the house because at that point, the only thing that I wanted to do was to end my life because I've had enough. So Mila, I ran out of the house and the only mission in the Lord,
You know I'm laughing. There's a bum phone that's ringing and it's distracting me.
Oh.
But anyway, go on.
So,
Sorry.
I ran, intention again,
That, no.
there were some drizzles of rain in the same morning, in the little drizzles. Yaba ke bona koloi ha e tla le maneletse le mabone ka emela hore hlata melo bana ha neng ke ikagele ntse le hole ona tloya ka ikagele se le mona.
You were really just like, okay, I'm ending my life.
I
Just
that
like
time
that.
se ke itse sorry
Man.
so ka fihla ke ikagela ka tseleng. Fortunate enough abuti ena o kgone ho nqoba though koloi ya hae ke shwe ka nna ba ine be le mathata fela because o ne eme hampe. You know that because o ne eme hampe haholo. Ha tswa ka koloi ona ne ba tsamaya ba le babedi ka koloing ba nkomanya why batla go ipolaya why batla go retsa party ya hae ha ba batla go ipolatsa mo ipolela don't make us part of that. But ke nana ka mora mono ba le ba bona hore it wasn't okay because la ntse ba nkomanya jwela I was just standing there and like hlene se ke eme fela go la le ka nkotla la mpola le
I
hlala
don't care.
you know.
Clearly, you were really just like you were over life.
Ba be ba nkenya ka koloing ke nana buti eno o na utlwa fela hore he needed to do something though ana sa tsebe le hore na ke eng ya tlamileng ho etsa. And may his soul rest in peace because o sa hlokaetsa buteng.
R.I.P. for real.
A ba tsamaya le nna nkisa mohlomong ha re le tseleng he told me hore ha ke tsebe hore na ko nketseng but I just felt hore ke hloka ho thusa and the only thing I can think about hona tjena ke go isa mohlomong. I think that's where you can get help. People know hore mohlomong the only way hore o sebeletswe is through a transfer.
Okay.
Ha re fitla gating it was a hassle hore re kene but itse ha ba mpona hore na ne ke le conditioning efeng ba ntumella hore re kene. We got in, I got admitted for a night and I knew hore asoze. I'm never ever committing suicide. However, me committing suicide is going to
lead you in there.
Because when I got there, I got to realize hore ihlile monana ke batho who are really mentally disturbed, like batho bana le bothata bo sa because ha go betse bo bosibo so utlwe monga eme khone mano santsa bine it's creepy ya tshosa and nna ke le Ts'epang exactly I was still in the right mind. And I'm here like, no, yes, maybe I do need mental evaluation or something, but not to this point.
Wow.
So that's how it happened. Then the following morning, I was local.
All right, man. Thank you so much. That's a mouthful, a handful. Ts'epang Maboee is, the lady. Thank you so much for coming through to tell it all, and thank you for telling it all. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here, right here on Tell It All podcast. Ts'epang told us from, her HIV status to her drama on Facebook with relationships to being happily in a relationship right now, the abuse she went through. You've been through a lot, but she's still right here looking stunning and gorgeous. Look, we signing out. Thank you so much for spending your time with us here at Tell It All. We'll see you again next time. Shout out.